my topic today is how many committee members does it take to change a light bulb? And I think we all know the answer to that. Just leave it to us. We'll do it. Again, I'm very lucky in that we call them a council. I know you've all got different names, but I work with a council. And they pretty much leave the professional people in the club to run the club and let us get on with our work. There are exceptions to the rule. I've got a pretty tough year this year, and going into next year I'm going to have a tough year. But pretty generally, they leave us to get on with our job. 3 things that I'm going to hope to take away from today is start looking now. Again, Kathy was mentioning this. Work 2 years ahead if you can. Start looking at your membership. Look at the people. Look at the people who are supporting the club. Look at the people who have positive attitudes. Look at the people that have professions that can actually help the club move forward. Look at people who are good people, and people that manage other people. I think it's really important to do that. So start looking now. Skill set, look at their skill set, look at what they do for their day jobs, look at how involved they are with the junior section of the golf club, look at those kind of things. And then just nudge the captain. I'm not telling people to say, this is who you should approach to come onto your committee, but just, say, look, here's half a dozen people. Who are the best people that know all about the membership? It's you guys, it's us. It's the professional, it's the course manager, it's the club manager, it's the front of house manager who deals with them on a daily basis. Get them involved, get them to give suggestions, and then take half a dozen suggestions to the captain and say, these are some people that we think would be good on committee. So, what does a committee look like? Anybody can make any reference to that? I was fortunate enough, a few years ago, I went down to a golf club outside Liverpool, and I spoke to the general manager there, and he worked with 23 committees. And I was like, what? How do you manage 23 committees? And he said, well, with great difficulty. The same manager I spoke to a couple of weeks ago, and he's got it down to 12. Now, does anybody in here work with even 12 committees? I don't. The one on the right, again, for me, what jumps out there, and I'm sure you will, is that a true representative of your whole golf club?
Maybe back then. Yes.
Yeah. I thought there might be one. No, not a true representative of the golf club, I would suggest, but people that probably think they are. So start looking now. What qualities are we looking for? What works? Clear strategy. We're looking for people that have got a clear strategy, people that have got business acumen, that are used to dealing with making decisions, that are confident in making decisions, and once they've made the decision, stick with it. Don't let the members change your mind. Articulate in communication, that's been spoken about. I think nearly every one of us has spoken about communication. It's vitally important. Communication. And also that they make decisions that reflect the general strategy of the club. If you have a strategy plan, it's moving forward. They have this document that passes through them. They have the club that passes through them. Try and make sure that they're willing to stick with the strategy that you have. Attitude, cup half full, positive attitude. Want the best for the golf club, not for any personal agendas. That they've got respect for fellow members, that particularly that they've got respect for staff, that they have people skills, that they have the club at heart, that they're willing to go in and be spoken to and mix with the members so that they can learn more about what it's about being on committee. So attitude's really important. And the right mix of people. I don't know, have any of you done your Lumina leader with Kev? If you haven't, then I really advise that you do it. It's a fantastic tool. You need people on council that are going to cover the four corners. There is no point in people on council all coming from the vision corner or all coming from the drive corner. They have to be able to have a mix of the drive, the vision, the people skills, and the can deliver. And more importantly, on council or on your board, whatever you want to call it, senior management attend meetings, all of the meeting. I guess that you guys all attend all of the meeting? Does your pro attend all of the meeting? Does your course manager attend all of the meeting? If not, I would really advise that you get all the senior management on board to be involved at that level so they have an understanding and can answer any questions directly. It doesn't go through 5 people before they get an answer. Non-portfolio members, why? Anybody got the non-portfolio people that don't have a job, that sit on council, that come every month, and all they can do is mump and grump and moan and complain? Try and get rid of those. I started off with a council of 11 people when I arrived at Deeside, 4 of which didn't have a portfolio. They didn't have a job, they were just there because they were there, they had been voted on to council. And I was really fortunate that I had a couple of successive captains that realised that this wasn't really a very good idea. So over the years we've managed to reduce it down to 7 people, all of whom have a job. So they all have to write a report every month, and they all look after their specific department, whatever it is that they're working on. Qualifications. Look at how long have they been a member of the club. Do they understand the history of the club? Do they know what the politics have gone past in past days, what that's about? What's their day job? If you're looking for a finance convener, try and look at people that are accountants or bookkeepers, or even own their own businesses, that have an understanding of figures, that are not going to be scared that the catering's going to lose £10,000. People that can appreciate how it works in the financial world of the golf club. Greens chair. How many Greens conveners have we got in our membership? I've got probably about 1,200. And, you know, I'm quite sure I'm no different to anyone else, but when you're looking, that's a really important job. When you're looking for your Greens chair, try and get somebody that's got, you know, we don't want a 2 handicapper, we don't want a 28 handicapper. Try and get somebody that's got an average handicap that can appreciate both sides of the fence. Try and get somebody that's got an understanding of the ground, somebody that's got any agronomy knowledge. Just try and gear it to people that understand what the job is that they're going to take on. The primary duties of council members: duty of care, which is the same as any of the rest of us would take. Duty of loyalty. By the way, I've taken this directly from one of Kevin's slides. Duty of loyalty puts the interests of the club above personal interest, and duty of obedience remains faithful to the mission of the club. We've spoken about that. Someone spoke up here about they have job descriptions for all council members. That's really, really important. And I've got one with me today I can share with anyone. But they should really all include job function, who they're reporting to, the purpose of the job, the scope of the job, the key duties, organisational relationships, managerial experience, and health and safety. Health and safety is on every job description. Tenure. How long are they on council for? Is there a right answer? Is there a wrong answer? Probably not. I would suggest that 2 to 3 years is a good term. At Deeside, that we have a 2-year term with an option to be nominated again for another 2-year term, but once you've done 4 years you have to come off, unless your second term is vice captain, and then you move up to captain. So if you go to captain, you can be on 6 years, but that's it, no longer than that. So 2 years, option for a further 2 years, and further 2 if captain. Subcommittees, are they necessary? Again, there's an argument for yes, for no, how many, what, who, why. I spoke to somebody when I was at World Conference, I'll just drop that in, when I was at World Conference. I spoke to somebody who sat on his wine committee and had endless, it was worse than listening to somebody describing their last shot on the 8th hole. Endless discussion about wine, and you know, with the best respect in the world, wine knowledge is a very, very big thing, and it's a personal choice. So subcommittees can achieve a lot if they have a point to them, if they're going to promote members up to council positions, if they're going to make a big difference to the club. So tips and advice, start looking now. You think about who you would like to work with, who you think you could work with. There's nothing worse. I've only learned all of this, particularly when I started doing MDP. It gave me a lot more confidence to go to my captain and council at the time and discuss these things with them. But it's important for you guys that you get the right people on council. You've to work with them. You've to see them through their tenure. It just makes life easier if you get. Check their skill set and just give the captain a nudge. And if you're really, really lucky, you might get that. That's my council. So I have my captain, I have my lady captain, my vice captain. At the back I have my Greens convener, my finance convener, and I have the young chap who was representing the associate members, the generation coming through. And that's me.
Thanks, Debbie.